You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channels and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes to continue hustling. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, True Weight Solutions, The 100-Year Lifestyle, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, Passive Practice Profits, BrainTap Technology, Sherman College of Chiropractic, SCED, Chiro Pro Accounting, A-Line, and Midwest Brain Health Technology. Let's hustle!
Hey guys, welcome to episode 282 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I am your co-host, Luke Millette, and here's your host, Jim Chester.
So today we had the opportunity of interviewing Dr. Eric Plasker, and if you want to learn more about freedom of speech in chiropractic and the truth, stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast. This is episode, what number, Luke?
282.
And today we have another special guest, Dr. Eric Plasker. We're getting quite familiar with the 100-year lifestyle, and we know that you're a massive advocate for telling the truth to the chiropractors, but also to the general public. I know that we're going to talk about some really impactful stuff, some stuff that you're doing at Life University over the past weekend, and some stuff that you're doing to speak for freedom of speech, not only for the chiropractic profession, but for the public at large. So I just want to say thank you for being our guest today on this amazing episode.
Well, thank you. I mean, you guys are creating an opportunity to reach people who are important people in this world, more important than ever. I mean, certainly being a chiropractor is one of the most important responsibilities and jobs and professions in the universe, no question in my mind. And they touch so many people themselves because of what they do. So I'm just glad to be here, glad to be a part of the journey, to share this journey with you. So let's go at it, man.
Yeah, so today's not our typical rundown of tell us your chiropractic story because we know it. And it's not our typical rundown of the Q&A that we usually run on our show. So let's just jump right into it. Tell us what you've been up to.
Well, amazing weekend this past weekend. I did my 40th Life University Life Leadership Weekend Friday night. It's prospective students and their family. It was a massive crowd, over 400 people, about 180 prospective students. And the impact of that event is fantastic. It's an amazing team. The university has an amazing staff that's in charge of it. The board of directors is very committed to the expansion of the profession. The Life Force doctors, who are the doctors who are alumni, and actually doctors from all over the country, from every school that you can imagine, that refer students there, that come there to see what's going on. And so, I get this opportunity to do this keynote speech on Friday evening, and it was just fantastic to talk about what's going on in the world, how it relates from a chiropractic perspective, why we need to be the doctors of the present. Thomas Edison said the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame and the cause and prevention of disease. Well, it's a great quote, except for one thing, that quote was made in 1903. It was 118 years ago. And we've been living in the future for 118 years. We've been saying, sometime in the future, we'll be the doctors. No, we're the doctors of the present. So I changed the quote. The new quote is the doctor of the present will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame and in diet and in the cause and prevention of disease. So be present. And so it's all about being present. We have to be present. We can't wait for permission. We already got the essential permission. A lot of doctors that I talk to around the country, they say, I ask them, so what have you done since the government named you essential? And they're like, well, I haven't done nothing new. Well, come on. You have to act so you can be. You have to act essential. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of people to reach. And that was just an amazing thing. And at the end, there was like 70%, over 70% were committed to being chiropractors. It's like another 150 chiropractors, some huge, exciting number. And we need more chiropractors, man. There's 1.1 million medical doctors in the United States. There's 1.1 million lawyers. Lord knows we don't need any more lawyers. And we have 60,000 chiropractors. So come on, we got a lot of work to do. We got to think bigger and keep telling our story.
Well, I think, I've been saying this for a long time too, is that chiropractors are in the front line and port of entry and doctors of the present. Like these things are conversations I've had for a long time, and free speech in the chiropractic profession for our show, but free speech to the world at large is even more important. So, keeping the nucleus tight and knowing that each chiropractor that goes forth and serves protects the sacred trust, works in the Hippocratic Oath, produces results and outcomes for patients that matter. And that changes a family, that changes an individual's life, that changes a community, that changes the world. And I knew that when I got into doing what we're doing with Chiro Hustle 4 years ago, that this was going to be an integral part of being a truth sanctuary almost for not only natural health providers, but for the natural health world. And I think that what you're doing is extraordinary when it comes to the reach that you have with the 100-year lifestyle. And you're right. There's 60,000 chiropractors, and the numbers are staggering when it comes to other providers out there. So each time, I've always said this, each time a little chiropractic soldier goes out there in the front lines and raises up their flag of I'm a chiropractor and this is where I practice and I'm going to go out there and change the world. Well, when one of those fails, now there's a void within the chiropractic profession because we've let one of ours that went through the ranks fail. And I think that that's really what we need to start to build the solution for is how can we get the people out there that are chiropractors not have those that fail rate. And I know that we have a 50% success rate. It is the same as a small business. Within 5 years, chiropractors lose their profession to themselves. And what does that do now? It's a cataclysmic event that it creates a void because they were the doctor of the present that didn't succeed. And then they went out and lost their voice and lost the believability of the people that wanted them to go out there and to be that doctor for that family with that pride, with that degree. And then they weren't successful. So I think what our real solution is, we need to create stronger systems for chiropractors to become successful long-term and to stay in the game and to go and to be that proud moment for the rest of their life. So I really believe in what you're doing with the 100-year lifestyle is that solution for people to say, you know what? I have the marketing, I have the branding, I have the team, I have the strategies, I have the voice, I have everything. Now go forth and serve.
Yeah, so important. And so there's two pieces of this, as far as I'm concerned. There's the people that don't make it, the people that, as you say, have failed in this shot at being a chiropractor, successful chiropractor. And then there's the people that have not even come close to optimizing what they do. There's two pieces of that. And then there's the reality of the fact that with 60,000 chiropractors, there is not one voice. There's a mishmash of voices. It sounds like blah, 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 when you have everybody talking. They each have their own, USP, unique selling proposition. They all have their own, little elevator speech. But to the world, it sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook because there's no unified message. And what we have been able to do is create a message that is relevant in the world. It's relevant for individuals, for companies, for organizations, for people of all ages, shapes, and size. It's related to longevity. It's related to healing. It's related to optimizing function. And we branded it with the 100-year lifestyle. And then we provide all the resources so that a doctor can use the resources even when their mouth is not moving to get the word out. And why is that important? Especially, let's start with the people that aren't making it. For the people that aren't making it or that are struggling, you're good at what you do, but you may suck at a lot of other things. That is a great day in the life of an entrepreneur to know what you're good at and to know what you suck at. I took this entrepreneurial test a long time ago, and it said it was a great, great test. It didn't go over well with my wife. We may have talked about it in the past, but my wife said, this is not an excuse. And here's what the test was. It showed that where 4 things were measured for entrepreneurship, it was, and I don't remember, I may get them wrong here, but it's follow through, implementation, quick start, research, and development. So let's say those were the 4 areas: follow through, implementation, quick start, research. Here's my score. If you had a 1 or 2, you were incompetent. Like, don't give that person the task. If you were a 3 to 7, you could do the job. You could get the job and probably be okay at it. If you were 8 to 10, you were a genius. So here's my score. I'm almost embarrassed. It was 2, incompetent, 2, incompetent, 10, genius. 2, incompetent. So the bad news is I'm 3/4 incompetent. The good news is I'm a genius at what I'm good at. And I'm smart enough to know to get other geniuses around me in the areas that I'm incompetent.
Amen.
And so I think that's why we get so much done with so little, is because we have a focused mission. We're amazing at telling the chiropractic story and making relevant to the people and using all types of technological and communication strategies in order to do it. Fantastic. And we're fantastic at the business piece of it and the innovation. We're geniuses at that. And we have the support of the top people in all those other areas to make sure that we are hitting on all cylinders and doing an amazing job. So you take the doctor that's struggling. You may not be good at certain things. The day that you wake up and say, you know what, it's costing me a fortune to not be good at this or to even be mediocre at it. Why don't I bring a genius onto my team, like 100 Year Lifestyle, the family practice, our company, Plasker and his people and his resources. Why don't we bring them on? They're, help chiropractors grow by $1 billion over the last 21 years, helping chiropractors. And, there've been so many cool things that have come and gone over those years. Fly by night, cool for a day, gone tomorrow. Hot today, gone tomorrow. We have been enduring. There's a reason that we're enduring. We were built to last. We went from good to great. We're built to last. We're not going anywhere. If I retired, my wife would throw me out of the house. So we're just going to keep on going because I love what we do and we're making changes. And, why put wisdom on the shelf and put it to sleep because the world says you shouldn't be doing it anymore? Man. We're just getting started. We're just figuring some things out and our people are exploding. You had our friend Todd Muncie. He's coming back to speak up and lead for the 4th time because he's getting so much out of it every time. Paul Weeks, who you interviewed, he's coming back again. And these guys have grown the 2 of them combined have probably grown by $500,000 a year since I've started. They've been 100 Year Lifestyle, and that's just a small piece of our people. So, I think it's really important for the people that are struggling to not have to do it by yourself. You're afraid to make the next investment to support your growth and your ease. Make that investment. It'll make your life better. And for those of you that have not optimized and you're comfortable, your comfort at some point, if you don't take the initiative, your comfort will become painful. And we don't want that to be. We want you to capitalize on your comfort and turn it into another level of abundance because your community needs you more than ever. The people need you more than ever.
I just want to acknowledge you for the trailblazing mentality and initiatives that you put out there. And you are right. If you can figure out one thing that you're really good at and you can assemble a team around you, that's how you build a winning chemistry. And, I believe that we all have, we're creatures of multiple intelligence. And, some of us have to be catalysts. Some of us have to be the guys that are the wrench turners. Some of us have to be the ones that are in charge of deployment. And if you start realizing that each person has a certain position that they thrive in, let people thrive in that zone of genius that they possess and then figure out how to get the job done. And I think that that's what happens to a lot of chiropractors is they want to be the marketer. They want to be the adjuster. They want to be the biller. They want to be the property manager. They want to be all these things and they shouldn't be. They should build a team of people that are qualified and source good people. I was just at a real estate investment seminar and the guy's like, look, you might be able to find financing for this unique opportunity, but how many banks did you call? He goes, if 2 told you no, call 20 more. And I think that that's what we have to think about with the chiropractic profession is if one thing or 2 things didn't work, try it 20 more times until you find the people that can fit onto your team so you can actually make a successful move. And I think that that's some of the back work that you've done with 100 Year Lifestyle is you've like, all right, guys, I know where the pitfalls are. I know where the runway goes. I know where the launching happens. And I think if you take all that and encapsulate it and give it to people, now they know the systems to plug in to where they don't have to be the manager. They don't have to be the person that trains the CAs. They don't have to be the ones that create the marketing strategies. They have systems and assistance from people that have been doing this for quite some time. So I want to acknowledge you for actually rolling all that out and learning where your weaknesses were and then how you could elevate it by building up your team stronger with people that were resourceful and, competent at these other areas that you may have not been the genius.
Yeah. And so just to give you an idea as an example of how we have done that for the doctors that may be listening to this. So in a report of findings, if you want to create lifetime patients, it's a different report of findings and it's a different communication. Well, we have taken that and we've put it in our 100-year lifestyle chiropractic vault, and you could watch it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you could do where we have people that used to do like a 30-minute report of findings and create a crisis care patients that has insurance that's got to come minimum out of pocket. And they're going to do that anyway in their sleep. And turn that 30-minute report of findings into a 2-minute or a 7-minute report of findings that creates a lifetime patient. How do you do that? Well, it's in the vault. So you can go there, you could watch it 25 times in a row until you get it down. And then people would ask me, and this is how we've created all this content. People would ask, well, Dr. Plasker, what do you do if the report of findings doesn't go as planned? Well, guess what? We have a training call in the vault called what if the report of findings doesn't go as planned? And then they would say, well, what happens if somebody misses appointments? Well, there's 5 training calls on getting people to miss that are missing appointments to come back. And 3 of them are proactive missed appointment strategy communications. And so that it doesn't happen in the first place. And then, same with social media marketing. How do you do it so that it works, especially with censorship in the world? Well, we've already done it. It's already done. You have to download, just put your name on it. And that's all you have to do. And it's already done for you in the vault. And well, how do I do a lecture where I get more people to attend? Or how do I do a webinar where I get more people to attend? And how do I turn it into new patients? Well, Vance Carrar, one of our he's been an affiliate in the 100-year lifestyle for 6 years. He's broken 7 figures. He's grown by huge amounts. He just did a attended Speak Up and Lead. 30 days later, he does an event and has 44 new patients in a 1-hour talk that are committed new patients. They're not, people that he has to sell. They're already pretty much sold. And so you say, well, I don't know how to do all that. All right, well, you're not supposed to. Well, we do. But don't act like there's not resources out there for you. You just have to be willing to invest in those resources. And why do you have to invest in them? Because they cost to create. There's a cost to create. So you have to invest in yourself. And when you do that, it's amazing how things change. And a lot of times and you guys know this, that people, they think about things a certain way and they're not thinking about it correctly. They have faulty premises. The faulty premise is you have to do it all by yourself. That is not true. That is a faulty premise. We had to talk about faulty premises. I'll shift gears for just a second because this is a big deal and it's a purposeful message. Can I keep going for a minute?
Absolutely.
So we had a patient about 2.5 months ago, comes in, 73-year-old man, and he is extremely nervous in the office because he's 73. And I asked him, why are you so nervous? He said, well, I've never been to a chiropractor. And when I was 6 years old, I broke my neck. So I've had a broken neck since I'm 6 years old. And I'm just afraid you're going to do something to really hurt me. He's moving like this. He can't turn his head. And he's a mess. And he's freaked out. I said, listen, we're going to be really smart about your care. We're not going to do anything to harm you. And I said, so let's take an x-ray. Let's see what's going on. And let's evaluate you. So I take the x-ray. My assistant takes the x-ray, comes back in, and I'm looking at the x-ray with this guy. And I said to him, listen, there is no sign in your neck that it was ever broken. You have no sign of a broken neck, ever. You have been living your life for the last 66 years, since you're 6 years old. You have been living, making decisions about your life, what you can do, what you're capable of, how much fun you could have, all based on a faulty premise.
Wow.
He's like, what? Like, it took him a while. He couldn't even believe it. I'm like, show me. So I'm showing him. I said, there's no sign of a broken neck here. So I said, I have no problem adjusting you. We're going to start to adjust. We're going to take care of you. You're going to really like it. 2 weeks go by. He goes like this. He comes in. He goes like this. He says, you're turning me into an owl. I'm like, and so now it's taken him a while to reorient his brain because that faulty premise has been so ingrained in his subconscious because he's been ingraining it. It's faulty, but his body didn't know it was faulty. His spirit didn't know it was faulty. So now all of a sudden he's coming in. It's been 2.5 months. He says, look at this, man. I'm doing this. I'm moving. I'm doing Pilates. And the guy is like found a newfound life, but 66 years living based on a faulty premise. Come on. If you're stuck, you probably have a faulty premise somewhere that you need to eliminate, find some support, find some tools, find some resources, and reorient your brain.
Amen. What a story, man. I think that's the thing is like so many people, I'll meet at like a screening event and they'll be like, I don't believe in chiropractic. And I'm like, you don't have to believe in it. Here, I'll drop my keys like Sid Williams would do. Chiropractic's just like gravity. It works whether you believe it or not. It's not a belief system. I go, Easter Bunny, Santa Claus are belief systems. Chiropractic is a healing art. Any questions?
Yeah, right. I'll tell those people, I say, really? That's such a dinosaur statement. That's a prehistoric statement. Are you like living in prehistoric land? Come on, wake up. And because with people like that, like what you do is you confront it head on.
Oh yeah.
You confront it head on, and you got to be like, that is absurd. That is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love you. That's ridiculous. You're going to let that stop you from doing what's good for you because you heard a prehistoric belief from the Dark Ages and the Ice Ages. And
I learned this from Dave Major, and I'll tell them, well, you have nothing to lose but your health. Come check it out.
Yeah.
Come see if we can help you.
So true.
And then if you don't, then at least here's our card. Call us when you're ready.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have nothing to lose but your health. But you have everything to gain if you come in and see what we can do to help you. And I go, this will help with your right now for the rest of your life. And I go, it's not me to convince you. It's you to understand that I'm not here to try to sell you anything, except for you told me that you're doing things and you've tried other stuff and it's not working. And how is that going for you?
Yeah. And can you still see me? Because my visual went out.
No, we got you.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So it's really important what you're doing and to let people know that it's okay to change your mind. That's one thing we did at the rally that was really, really valuable. I spent some time talking about, hey, you're allowed to change your mind. If you had a certain opinion, feeling about what was going on, about your life, what was good, what was not good, you can change your mind. About your politics, you can change your mind. If you were wrong, you should change your mind. So many people, they would rather be right about what they said, even though it was wrong in the world or a lie in the world. They'd rather be right that they said it than say, you know what, I made a mistake. And that's what I think is so important right now, like at this freedom rally, to be able to speak out for freedom, to be able to speak out and encourage people to speak up and lead and to tell the truth and to put their smile out in the world and to not hide their face and to speak out against these medical infringements against our ability to choose, our freedom to choose. It's so important that we all speak out about that. And I got to tell you, it was pretty empowering. And this is the third rally I've done. And it was very empowering to see the response from people when you talk to them about these different things and to see them wake up. It makes you want to do more.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, True Weight Solutions, The 100-Year Lifestyle, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, Passive Practice Profits, BrainTap Technology, Sherman College of Chiropractic, SCED, ChiroPro Accounting, A-Line, and Midwest Brain Health Technology. Let's hustle.
And after the Freedom Rally, did you mention that there was another talk that you did where you got to discuss chiropractic cases?
Well, I actually talked about that case that I just told you. I talked about that at the rally. And we had, and so then I went back from that rally and went to back to in front of a group of doctors, Life Force doctors. It was a weekend there, and talked about the reality of, listen, I was just out in the public and people are fired up, and we need to realize that there's a war going on. And you know how a great warrior fights a war is they set it up so that the other side doesn't even know they're being attacked. And that's what's happening right now, is that so many people aren't even aware that we're being attacked. That is a problem. And so when you have people that are blind to the truth, we have to be willing to wake them up, because the children are suffering because of it. There was a quote that I did at the rally that I think is a very appropriate quote. And I think I said this to you before we went on air, but I haven't said it on air yet, have I?
No, I'm really curious to have you share that with our audience, the message that you got from the president of Dubai.
Yeah, it's a great quote. So I'm going to pull it up right now. It's such an important quote because it's very relevant to what's going on in the world right now. And I can't necessarily find it on my phone, but I'm going to quote it here. It goes like this. They asked the president of Dubai, or the founder of Dubai, they said, "What's the future of your country? What do you think is the future of your country?" He said, "Well, my grandfather was on a camel. My father was on a camel. I'm in a Mercedes. My grandson is on a Land Rover, and my great-great-grandson is from Land Rover," he says. And they said, well, and then he says, "But my great-great-grandson will be on a camel again." And they said, "Why? Why do you say that?" And he said, "Because tough times create strong men. Strong men create weak times. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times." And so we are on the cusp of getting into very tough times. We're seeing inflation skyrocket, gas prices skyrocketing, people not getting along with family members or friends, being divided by lies and deceit and disinformation and misinformation that's out there in the world. And it's happening faster than anybody would have predicted it. And we need to speak up and lead. We need to stop it. If we don't stop it, we're going to all be back on a camel. And listen, if I have my way, that's not going to happen. I know if you guys have your way, that is not going to happen. But it's not enough for the two of us. We all need to speak up and lead. And that's why we're so inspired about the work that we're doing with 100-Year Lifestyle. We're doing it with collective energy. We're having a common message out in the world. It's a common message from a vitalistic chiropractic perspective. We have people all over the country and all over the world that are implementing it. And even if their mouth is not moving, even if they're stressed out, struggled, too busy, not busy enough, whatever it is, the message is relentless in the world, and we're doing it together because it's not dependent on them. They trust the voice. And we just did a whole segment on medical freedom and healthcare freedom that we did online with social media. We gave it to all of our 100-Year Lifestyle doctors. We created it. It was included. They didn't have to pay anything extra for it. It's just a part of it. And we're constantly creating these types of resources to get our voice out there in the world, because we have to have collective energy, and we have to be willing to take a stand and not back down from the challenges that are ahead and that are happening currently.
Well, I know we're starting to get to the edge of our time. So before we get to the end, I wanted to backtrack a little bit and ask you, what is this entrepreneur test, and where can people take it if they're curious about their own sport?
Cool. I think it's called Kobe, Kobe. And I did it. I did it probably 22 years ago. And so I'm hoping they're still around. And it was, I was a part of a highly successful entrepreneur program. And they did it in that program. And I don't know where it is today. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked for it, but there are lots of good testing out there, but it was specifically for high-level entrepreneurs or for people that wanted to be entrepreneurs.
It's actually called the Kolbe A test, Kolbea.
Okay, there you go. Cool.
So I'm actually going to do this test. So it's actually up on a window on my computer right now.
All right, good man, good man.
Just out of curiosity, do you remember the 3 areas you were inept and the 1 area you're genius?
The 1 area I was a genius was in quick start innovation. So awesome. I tested as a 10 out of 10 was the highest score. I was a 10 in innovation.
Well, that's super important
Very
because
cool.
that's why 100-year lifestyle is so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I tell my wife, she'll say, well, why didn't you do that? That was like terrible. How could you do that? I said, I'm incompetent at that. I told you I'm incompetent. She doesn't accept that, which she's entitled not to accept it. But, it's funny. People say to me all the time, well, so what do you do if you have to get those done? I said, I got a Rolodex that's worth a fortune. And it's not a Rolodex anymore. It's a contact list that's worth a fortune.
They always say that your network is your net worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what would a doctor at home listening to this episode do if he wanted to join the 100-year lifestyle, and what would that mean for their practice?
Well, we would love to have you. If you like our message and you want lifetime patients, go to 100yearchiropractors.com. Go to the number 100yearchiropractors.com. And then click on the store area. You'll see the different levels that we have. We can do your website for you, which will also include plugging you in and listing you on 100yearlifestyle.com. We'd love to have you do that. You can plug into the vault. And that vault has 2,000 video trainings plus all kinds of documents to help you be better at everything from consultation, examination, report of findings, hiring, training, firing, patient management, staff management. Will train your CAs. They'll be amazing communicators. There's just tons and tons, thousands of videos there. You can do a search. It's the Google for chiropractors that want to win and succeed in practice. Anything you could think of. And then we have a marketing vault also. That's another option if you wanted to do the marketing. That's where the Health Freedom Campaign is. That's where we have like a dozen different PowerPoint presentations. We have all kinds of theme-based marketing campaigns: Becoming a Least Vulnerable Person, Performance 100, Raising Super Healthy Families, reactivations, you name it, it's in there. And if it's not in there, we'll train on it next Tuesday. How about that? Because that's what we do. We train every Tuesday and we put it in the vault. So you could do each of those separately, whichever you feel like fills your need, or you can do as an all-inclusive affiliate. And that's what most people do, but you can start any way you want to check us out. And what does it mean to your practice? I could tell you that I just got a text message from one of our doctors that's probably up in the 6 years that he's been an affiliate, just renewed for another 5 years. He's up about $30,000 a month, $360,000 a year. And so he's up $1.5 million over the 6 years that he's been a part of it. And it cost him in that 6 years, it cost him $35,000 for 6 years to grow by, that much. And, that's not everybody. Everybody doesn't do that, but a lot of people do, 10, 20, 30,000 a month in growth. It's a freedom tool. It really is freedom for you. We do so many of the things for you that you would have to hire somebody to do that would cost you 10 times as much. We have brand new doctors. I interviewed Dr. Mackenzie Hoy just recently. She's 2 years into her practice. She's saving $8,000 to $10,000 a month already. Just 2 years into practice. Starvation period. Are you out of your mind? And I asked her in the video interview I did with her, I said, well, what's been the secret? It's like, I have all these resources. I don't have to do it all myself. So I can, we tell young doctors, we'll make you look like $1 million before you have $1 million. We'll make you think like a millionaire before you become a millionaire. And honestly, it's not about the money. We have never, in 35 years of business, we have never done anything just for the money, ever. It's all about a purpose, serving a purpose, trying to help people, as many people as possible. And I realized early on that I could only do so much myself, that we needed to be able to train people what we were very blessed to be able to learn along the way. So now we do it in a format that is very relevant to the times. You can do it from your cell phone. You could print from your cell phone. You could download from your cell phone. You could watch from your cell phone. You could do it from your tablet. You can do it from literally anywhere. The vault is amazing. It's just exciting to be able to help people. So if you know that you're capable of more and you're tired of trying to do it all by yourself, or you're tired of chasing cool, the last cool thing that came and went, then you plug in and we'll help you. And we provide all the content. And what we've always said is that we don't know who's going to, and this has become very relevant today, by the way. We don't know who's going to win. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Amazon, Apple. We don't know who's going to win. Maybe they're all going to win. Maybe they're all going to go out of business because they're going to get sued by the government and be forced to shut down. Who knows? We don't know. But I'll tell you what we do know. We have the content, and we can help you point it anywhere because we have the content. It's our content. We provide it to you. So you're freed up to do your job as a chiropractor and to grow as many people as you're willing to see. So so at least let's have a conversation. You could email us. Email me directly, Dr. Plasker at 100yearlifestyle.com. If you want to, I'd be happy to chat with you. We'll turn you over to my team, or I'll talk to you myself. But we're in growth mode. We're helping lots of people. We have something unique and special, and we're proud of it. And we want to share it with you if you love what you do as a chiropractor and you want to help more people.
And to sign up, they just go over to 100yearchiropractors.com.
Yep. You go to the store there, sign up there if you want to, or we can have a conversation. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody about it, we're happy to talk to you about it. Or you can sign up online. Just go to the store, affiliate options, pick the one you want, sign up online.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Eric, I want to thank you once again for being our guest today. I know this was really impactful for our listeners, and I urge them to head over to your website and join the 100-year lifestyle.
Cool, man. Well, love you guys. Appreciate what you're doing. Keep up the good work. And we got a lot to do. Got a world to change.
Well, thank you for being our guest today. And I always love connecting with you, and your message matters. So let's keep more people learning what it is to be in this journey with you and your team with the 100-year lifestyle. And thank you for trusting us and working with us the way that you have over the past 6 months. And I look forward to a fruitful future for both of our teams. So with that being said, I want you to have a great day and keep on serving, brother.
You too, my man. Take care, guys. Keep up the great work.
I'll see you next time.
All right.
See you soon. Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.